Hello, second grade Smarties, and welcome to video number 3 of iReady Math Lesson 10. So we have been exploring three-digit numbers and understanding their place value. We've talked about recognizing hundreds, tens, and ones. And we've also talked about how three-digit numbers can be counted as ones, it can be counted in groups of tens, and we can also count the hundreds. So we are going to do some exploring with finding different ways to show three-digit numbers. So let's go ahead and get started with number 11 in page 94 in our instruction book. All right, it says evaluate. Lana did this homework problem. What did she do wrong? So Lana has 2 hundreds and how many ones? And 6 ones. Lana said that 2 hundreds plus 6 ones is the same as 26. Ooh, so I'm going to draw a chart that we learned about. It's going to kind of look like this chart down here. So I'm going to make a chart for hundreds, tens, and ones. So looking at our model and looking at the equation that Lana made, she had 200. So in my hundreds place, I'm going to write 200s. And now remember, we can show three-digit numbers in ones and tens, but this model is showing us groups of hundreds. So we have 200s. How many 10 rods do we have? We have 0 tens. And how many ones? And 6 ones. So what did Lana do incorrectly? What did she not do? She did not have the 2. She didn't have 2 in the right place. So she treated 2 as a what? She didn't treat it like hundreds place. She treated the 2 as the tens place. So she did not have 2 in the right place. She didn't have the 200s in the right place. So 200s plus 6 ones makes what number? 206. We had 200s, 0 tens, and 6 ones. Let's go to number 12. It says, look at how Sam and Lev wrote 572. Explain what each person did. So Sam said 572 is the same as 57 tens and 2 ones. So here is what I'm going to do. I know that 572 has 500. So I'm going to make 500s using squares. And I know from my last lesson that hundreds are 10 groups of 10. So let's pretend that I put 10 tens in each hundred. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there are 10 tens. And let's say I put 10 groups of 10 in each hundreds. So 10 tens, 20 tens, 30 tens, 40 tens, 50 tens, and 572 has 500s, 7 tens, 4, 5, 6, 7. And friends, I'm going to erase this in a second. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 57 tens. Now, guys, hundreds are 10 tens. So it's wanting us to show these three-digit numbers with our hundreds, tens, and ones. We can show these numbers in different ways. So 572 can be 57 tens and 2 ones. So what can we say about Sam? Sam counted by groups of, what did he count by? Groups of 10 and 1. Groups of 10 and 1s. How did Lev count his? So look at Lev's. Lev said that 572 is the same as 5 hundreds, 7 tens, and 2 ones. I can also make a chart to check my work. So hundreds place, tens place, and ones place. So in 572, I have 5 hundreds, 7 tens, and 2 ones. How did Lev show 572? Lev showed hundreds. He showed the hundreds place, tens, and ones. So each student showed that number in a different way. In 572, it is the same as 57 tens and 2 ones. Let's say I wanted to know what 572 was in ones. How many ones are there in 572? If I just wanted to count 572 in ones, how many ones would there be? There would be 572. If I was counting by ones, I would have 572 ones. If it was asking us to count for tens and ones, I could say I had 57 tens and 2 ones. If I wanted to show 572 in hundreds, tens, and ones, I would say I had 5 hundreds, 7 tens, and 2 ones. All right, number 13 says to fill in the blanks to show 256 in different ways. So the first way that it wants us to show it is just in ones. So just like we were talking about 572, if I was going to count to 256 by ones, how many ones would I have? I would have 256. So notice that I have nothing in my hundreds or tens. It just wanted to know how many ones would there be if I was just counting by ones to show 256. The next way it wants us to show 256, 0 hundreds, blank tens, and 6 ones. So friends, remember, 3-digit numbers are made of hundreds, tens, and ones. But in my hundreds, I have 10 tens. So I can draw my hundreds, but keep it in my head that in that 100, there are 10 tens. So in 256, how many hundreds do I have? I have 2 hundreds. So I'm going to draw 2 hundreds, but in my hundreds, I'm going to draw 10 tens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So 10 groups of 10 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So I have 10 groups of 10 plus 10 groups of 10. What would 10 plus 10 be? I would have 20 tens. So I drew 20 tens to show 200. Oh, Miss Mason made a mistake. Oh my goodness. This is why we check our work, because I forgot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not done because 10, so 200s, but I forgot my 5 tens. So 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250. Friends, teachers make mistakes too. That's part of keeping a growth mindset and checking your work. So how many tens did I have in 256? I had 10 plus 10 plus 5. So that would be 25 tens and 6 ones. All right, and the final way it wants us to solve this problem is hundreds, tens, and ones. So in 256, how many hundreds do I have? How many hundred squares do I have? I have 2 hundreds. I had 5 tens, and how many ones? 6 ones. So we showed the number 256 in 3 different ways. All right, let's move on to number 14. It says Nate puts his coins into stacks of 10. He has 12 stacks of coins with 4 coins left over. So I'm going to circle some important numbers and underline some important words that help me understand what it's wanting me to figure out. It says Nate puts his coins in stacks of 10. So a stack has 10 coins. So one stack has 10 coins. He has 12 stacks of coins with 4 coins left over. Ooh, so he has 12 stacks of coins. How many coins are in each stack? We have 10 coins in each stack, which means we are going to make groups of 10. So one stack will have 10 coins. How many stacks of coins did Nate have? He had 12 stacks. So what am I going to draw for my stacks of coins? I can draw 10 rods, right? So how many tens am I going to need? 12. So one stack, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, but I'm not done because that's only 10 stacks. How many stacks do I need altogether? I need 12. So 10, 11, 12. So after 100, because remember, 10 groups of 10 makes 100. So I'm going to put a box around that because that is 100. After 100, I can start counting my 10s. So 100, 110, 120. And it says I have 4 coins left over. So that means I didn't have enough coins to make a group of 10, which means I had 4 coins left over. So how many coins did Nate have? Write the answer in 2 different ways. So I am going to show this as 2 different equations. So I could say first that Nate had 12 tens plus 4 ones, right? And when I counted that, I had 100, 110, 120, 121, 122, 123, 124. So 124. What is another way that I could show this? Let's say I wanted to show in hundreds, tens, and ones. In our model that we drew, how many hundreds do I have? Remember, 100 is 10 tens. So how many hundreds do I have? How many boxes did I put around 10 tens? I had 100, right? I put a box around 10 tens to make 100. So I have 100 plus how many tens? 2 tens. And how many ones? 4 ones. And that shows us another way to make what number? 124. All right, it says Nate gets 30 more coins from a friend. Nate says that he now has 190 coins. Do you agree? All right, so here is what I'm going to do. It says that Nate got 30 more coins. So I'm going to go back to my model. I'm going to use a different color. You do not have to use a different color, but I am going to add 30 more. Now, am I going to add 30 tens? It just says I'm adding 30. So how many tens would be in the number 30? 10, 20, 30. How many tens are in 30? Look at your first digit. There are 3 tens. So here is what I am going to do. I am going to add 3 tens with the tens that I have in my model. So I have my hundreds in a square. I have my tens in my ones. I am going to add 3 more tens to my models with those tens left over. So I still have 100, and I'm going to make a little chart here so I can keep track. And you can do this too, guys. When we are counting 3-digit numbers, or we are counting tens and ones, or if we have an equation, we can use this chart to help us show these numbers. So in our number now, how many hundreds do we still have? We still have 100 because we do not have enough tens to make another 100, right? How many tens do I have when I added those 3 tens? I have 2 plus 3 more tens, so I have 5 tens. And how many ones? I still have 4 ones. So Nate said he has 190 coins. Do you agree or disagree? So looking at how many coins he does have, do you agree or disagree? So looking at our facts, looking at our evidence, I disagree. And I have to explain why I disagree. I disagree because 30 more coins would only change what place? Did it change the ones place at all? No. And look, Nate said he had 0 in the ones place. So I disagree because 30 more coins would only change what place changed when I added 30? My hundreds didn't change. My ones didn't change, but my tens change. Would only change the tens place to how many tens? 5 tens. All right, friends. So that is why it's so important to work out those problems. Even if you think you can do them in your head, and I'm sure you can because you guys are amazing smarties, show your work. Solve problems in different ways. Look at what Miss Mason did. I used a model, I used an equation, and I used a chart to show my work. All right, Smarties, as always, keep that growth mindset. Good learners do hard things, and happy learning.